All right, Rocco, you guys take a 3-0 lead late into this ball game. How tough is it to not be able to close it out in such a critical matchup?
It's very hard. That was a very tough ball game to watch because we're feeling good with a lot of things that we're doing. We had some big swings, made some plays. Guys are pitching good. There was a lot going real well. We turned the ball over to a couple of guys that we really trust. The way that things played out, I can't sit there and say that our guys didn't throw the ball fine like their normal selves. The Guardians team, they forced the action a little bit. We didn't play. I don't want to say we didn't play perfectly clean baseball, and we needed to today to play a tight ball game like that. To bring in our relievers, our late inning guys to do their jobs, we needed to really play a incredibly crisp, solid all-around game to get where we needed to be. It wasn't crisp enough.
Could you have asked for much more from Bailey Ober in his return?
No, he pitched phenomenally. He threw a few more pitches than he did in his last rehab start. Normal circumstances, he's totally built up. Obviously, he can go back out and pitch more. But in this situation, after coming off of a rehab start, that was, I would say, a little bit shorter than a normal start. That's what you're hoping for. He gave us exactly what we wanted to see. He looked great. He pitched with all of his pitches. He got outs with all of his pitches. He looked strong.
How tough is that reality to face, that he did throw 66 pitches last time out? And it's sort of the same thing with Joe the other night, right? You want to keep him going, but when they hit that pitch max.
Yeah. Well, I would say this. He pitched great, and that's exactly where we want to be in that ball game. So the end result, that's not good. But talking about his start, that was real good. And like I said, that's what we're shooting for. That's what we're kind of lining it up for it to look like. Hand the ball off, probably somewhere around the 6th inning to our guys that have been real good in the bullpen. And again, Caleb, I thought Caleb threw the ball fine. We could have had obviously the first out of the inning, and then Griffin, threw some fastballs, and they got to the fastballs, and obviously there's some frustration there because you have the ball game's not in hand. There's still a lot of game to play, but you got to feel good about where you're at. You going into that part of the game. You got some good pitchers coming in. You got a 3-run lead, and to be sitting here without a win, when you're in that spot, it's tough.
What is it about you guys or them that you think has led to so many of these late game comebacks on their side against your bullpen this year?
Well, they do have a handful now. I do think their team probably does this is kind of the baseball that they play. They apply pressure, and they continue to compete out there. And I think they probably have a lot of comeback wins. Their bullpen is good. Their starters are good. They make it tough to score runs, and they hand the ball off to guys, and they make it difficult to tack on runs. And in these types of tight ball games, any of those runs, they usually come up pretty important at the end of the day. And when you're sitting back and it's hard to tack on against those guys, I think it makes it tough. But I don't think we're the only team they play this kind of baseball against. But when you feel like you can make the plays and you can make a few better pitches and you're right where you need to be, and we don't do it, it is frustrating.
When Pete went out and talked to Jan after the first 2 hits, had he seen something? Was he looking nervous, or what was the message there?
No, every team operates a little bit differently. They have a good hitter coming to the plate, but a guy that also can handle the bat and do some different things. Do you think he's bunting? Probably not, but you think it's certainly a possibility because anything's a possibility. So you have to make sure that the guys in the field are aware. looking at Carlos, I think he kind of gestured. I think he knew that was something that we had to get together and talk about. Pete wanted to go out there and talk to Johan about that too. So that it's more of just getting some organization out there on the field, so we're all on the same page. That was all. He looked. No, he was fine.
I think all three of the hits in that 17 rally were on 2 strikes. Just as far as is it pitch selection, are they just that good at foul? What'd you see there?
Well, they do put the ball in play a lot. They're not a team that's going to strike out and make it easy on you by giving away at bats in those types of situations. I don't know if 2 of them or 3 of them are on 2-strike fastballs, right around the zone. Those balls are going to be easier to put into play too, and they found some space out there, and that's like I say, it's not luck. They're good players and they have good bat to ball skills, and they put the ball in play and they see what happens.